Refine the live. This is take 2 because I'm going to have to just front face view this because all it keeps doing is spooling and we can't control it from an end where we can't see the live stream living. So I'm going to find something to prop you up on. Oh, I need something to make this taller. Where's that box? You guys are just going to have a live like this today. So instead of seeing what I'm doing, there we go. You can just hang out with me and sew. Hopefully this is working. I can't even see a chat or anything yet. Yeah, it doesn't say on that either. It's not. It's not working properly. Our internet is not working properly today, my friends. So, welcome back, everybody. All right. So.
You got more for me to earn?
Yep, right there. I have to make sure that it's working.
It is.
Okay. All right, guys. So.
What kind and size of thread do you use on your Juki?
I use all sorts of kinds of sizes and threads on the Juki. I use whatever I have, whatever's on sale, whatever's cheap. I just use whatever.
So it doesn't like that one kind I thought.
It doesn't like the small spools of Orifil. It likes the big spools. Feels so weird because now you guys can't even see what I'm sewing, and I can't put you far back because of today's internet issues. But what I can do is come this way a little bit. There. Hopefully that's a little bit better angle-wise. I'm literally just sewing my pieces together. Randomly. Do I change needles with different thread? No, I do not. I just use a 9014, which is an everyday, anything size, project size thread. There we go, that's better. I feel like you guys were looking at me all crooked-like. Yeah, even with the spool cap on, the small spools of Orifil just, I don't know, they just don't like being, maybe they're not meant for high-speed machines, and that's why they sell the big spools of Orifil. I am working on just a box of pieces that I had, and I'm just sewing them together and gonna make something baby size probably out of it.
What would be the best machine for a beginner?
Best machine for a beginner? Any machine could be great for a beginner. Depends on what you're planning to do with that machine. Do you want to do applique? Then you definitely want something that has lots of different stitches on it. Are you planning on just piecing quilt tops? Then you would want a straight stitch machine. I always highly recommend the Juki because I've been using it for so long, and it's an amazing machine. And Scott put a link in the chat if you're interested in looking at that. And he put one in for the little brother machine, and there's one for the other Juki too. The HZL F600 one. So it all depends. I can't say that one machine, you know, is good for everything anymore because now I own way too many machines. Hi, Mom. But you know, no, I don't think it's probably there. I'm not sure.
Why did you make it sewing?
Yeah, I have lots of machines now that do lots of different things. I never thought I'd be a multiple machine owner either. When I first started making quilts, it was just like, oh, hey, I'm gonna need a sewing machine and a pile of fabric. And now look at me. I have a room of fabric and a host of sewing machines. Yeah, this is going to be a very repetitive quilt here. I think what I'm going to do is cut thread, pass you all these pieces, and I think I'm going to do like a...
Oh, I got more iron?
Yep. I'm going to change it up and see how big these turn out. Because here's all that. If I put these two together, will it be the same size as one of these? It'll be even bigger. I think I'm going to change things up with my idea here because I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over again on these pieces. So I'm going to take all the halves and sew another half to it. And hopefully I didn't over sew everything.
You ever use sheets for backing?
Yes, I do use sheets for backing. I actually like using cotton sheets for backing. I don't use Egyptian cotton sheets very often because they are tighter of a weave. And I don't use, I use flannel sheets, but I don't use polyester sheets. And I don't use, what are those ones that's really tight, soft stuff?
So?
No, the kind, microfiber. I don't use microfiber. Yeah, I don't use microfiber sheets. I just use cotton or flannel mainly. All right, I'm changing my idea here, my friend. So I'm putting two of these together now. So what I'm creating is a block like this instead with two different long skinny ones on them because it's going to help me mix everything up a little bit better, I think. Maybe. We'll see. It's pretty much like the whole thing is just nothing but repeats anyway. It'll be cute, whatever it is, when it's done.
How often do you change your needle?
I change my needle when it breaks. I'm really, really lazy about needle changing on my machine. Is that skinny piece? That is not what I want. Oh, is that a skinny piece too? Ah, no. That is not the size. That is, though. Yeah, I'm really lazy about changing my needle. You should change it after each project. So if you do a king size quilt, you should put a new needle. You should. I should, but I'm pretty lazy about it. I use the titanium needles, so they last a lot longer. So I tend to be a little bit lazier on that. Okay, here's for pressing. Yeah, I'm not very good with that.
You ever thinking about doing a bed turning video?
A bed turning video? No. I have not thought about doing that. Put this one with that one.
Is there anything special I'm supposed to iron out? It has to be in the middle. Iron in a flat
It's
like
going to one side, yes.
Iron in a flat like that.
This one goes on here, and this one can go on here, and this one can go on there, even though those are the exact same. I was really trying to mix things up here. That's okay. We're going to make this work. We're going to make it work. Like I said, I didn't have no plans for today. I kind of just, pulled something out and said, this is what I'm going to sew. So that's what I'm doing.
So they can those file for this one? Sometime in the middle.
I'm telling you, I'm not happy with how my machine is running. Now it's like stuck.
Exactly what is a blender fabric?
A blender is something that blends in with everything. So say you have a multitude of colors, the rainbow. Say you have a jelly roll that's a rainbow jelly roll. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, blah, blah, blah. But in there, there's a color that sticks out, like there's more green, and it has yellow little dots in it. So a blender fabric is finding something that blends with all of that, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or the green with yellow dots. So you would find, something that blends with it. That's what a blender is. So you can get like a green with white polka dots or whatever. That's your blender fabric.
It sounds like Juki's jealous of your new machine.
Yeah, well, this Juki does not understand that the other Juki is meant for bags only. It's not being used for piecing. It's not a piecing machine. So I don't know why it would be jealous. It just happens. No, it's something with the timing. I'm pretty sure of it. Where it's timing that needle going up and down, and it's just either continuing on or whatever. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
Yep.
It's got a whatever issue. Oops.
Yep. It's a whatever issue. It's mad at me for sending it to the fixer.
Gone for a month.
Yeah. It was literally gone for a whole month. Said, you didn't sew on me for a month, so I'm not going to work right. All right, there's those.
Which one?
Those. All right, let's see what we got going on here now. So what I'm going to do is, I guess, finish sewing. We're going to see how many I have. 2 of those. 1 of those.
Yeah, some of these, like this one That wasn't so good. I didn't even know there was a thing in the middle.
And a bunch of these. Okay, so I guess I'll sew a couple more to the ends.
What's your industrial again? Do you know?
My industrial is a Juki. It's meant for heavyweight fabrics. So if I piece a cotton bag, I can piece all the parts on here and then sew the thickness of the bag together over. Which, that's one thing I didn't do, is give you guys a whole new room tour, but, you know, I'll do that when I do that.
No room in our room for a tour.
Yeah.
Our room has no room for a tour.
All right, one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. They're trying to use the thread cutter because it's just jamming every time now. All right, here's 3 more of these. And now I need to figure out how to lay this out.
3 more iron.
1,
Oh, these are the nice ones.
2, 3, 4. I thought there was more of these.
I have a bunch over here that I'm ironing.
Oh.
Here. I still got 4 more.
5, 6. Yeah, because I don't have comments on my 7, 8 on my screen. Okay. Yep, internet is having issues. Sorry, guys. It's just going to keep doing its thing. I can't control it. I don't know how to fix that today besides turning the box off and back on again, which takes like about an hour.
Well, it don't take an hour. 10 minutes, though.
Yeah, it takes forever. All right.
Box up so they can see 'em.
I made these. And then there's purple in between some of them.
Are you ready for your surgery?
And I'm sort of ready for my surgery on Tuesday.
We're not ready for the drive.
I'm not ready for the drive. And I know a lot of you suggested like a rental car and or borrowing a car. Well, we're going to borrow his mom's car, but it has a big, huge, she has an SUV and it has a big crack in the windshield, which is highly annoying to drive with. And then it doesn't stay in 5th gear, it pops out. So there's like a stick to hold it in place. And although it's comfortable to ride in, but I couldn't ride in the back. It has issues, and the back was too hard for me. Even if we were to put something up, I would have had to pivot, and I won't be able to do that after surgery. So we just foregoed on that idea, and we are just going to use our car and deal with it because that's just what we're going to have to do. Plus, it's easier on gas mileage than the other vehicle, and you know we're kind of broke. All right. Now to sew these to these, but I need to see how many exactly.
Are we there?
Yeah. All right, guys.
Hey,
So the internet is not working very well. If it cuts off again, I'm just going to end the live stream, but right now it seems to be working-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and I cannot do anything about anything today. The quilt behind me is what I entered into a show and I won 2nd place on, and that's how I've gotten my new 2 machines that you guys saw, the HZL F600 and the Juki DU1181N. So I traded my prize in on that and was able to get a different machines, plural. Okay, we're going to call that right there. Okay, so this row would start with 1. Oh, Lisa, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Maybe I shouldn't have sewn these scraps today. Yeah, I'm running out of these quickly.
That's what I said when you started. Do you have enough?
That. And then
You could just make all that you have and add them to some other scrappy thing, mix them with something else in the future. Or did you already sew all the ones you do have?
I already sewed, but what I'm thinking is, I'll see, I can't do that. It has to be this, because those are the same exact size with the add-on. I need to add pieces in between as well. See how many I have still. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 left of that. So what I can do is sew them into 4s. Trying to think here, guys. I'm thinking out loud. I can sew them into 4s.
Can you cut the bigger ones in half?
I could cut the bigger ones in half, yes. But then I still have repeats, so
Right down iron for a bit?
yes, momentarily, yes. So those two together. So I'm playing around here on my desk. Those two together. But then I would want a piece in between them. Oi, 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 decisions. I think I'm just going to randomly sew them together.
An awful lot of the same looking stuff. Is there any other colors or any other fabrics we have somewhere that we could just throw in it?
I have to go look in the fabric room. I don't think I have any more of this stuff, though, no.
Because they all look very much the same thing to me.
Yep.
It's too matchy-matchy, too blendy. It looks a lot like that watercolor backing on that one quilt. Remember the one that you had a pain making?
Yeah.
The background looks a lot like that.
So I could sew them in sets of 6. But I still need a piece in between. I'm trying to be creative here, friends, and you can't even see it. See, I'm like trying to think how to lay these out because there's not enough of one and too much of another. And it's not coming to me. Like, so this with the end on it is the same size as this block right here. So see, they're the same in height now, right? So I was thinking if I just put a piece in between them, I can sew them together in like sets of 2. But then I'm just making a jumbled mess of the same thing over and over again. I'm almost to the point where I should just bunch it all up, throw it back in the box, and lay it out on a floor later.
What are you trying to make?
I'm just trying to make like a baby quilt or something with it. But it's not coming to me. The idea and then the fact that I'm right here and the fact that the camera can't be moved because it's going to get
What type of
cut off.
surgery are you having? What is your
My hip
Since
surgery
it's not a hip
is,
replacement.
it's not a hip replacement. No, I'm having an arthroscopic repair of my labrum, I think that's how you say it, and the bone gets shaved. I don't know how the words on the whatever, it's all the words on the thing. I'm not a doctor and I cannot pronounce that kind of stuff. But they're fixing the bone. Here's the hip. Here's the joint that goes in there. The labrum is the tendon that holds the hip in there. It creates that suction and that padding to keep the ball from like grinding bone on bone. Well, that's torn, and then they have to shave down the ball part so that it fits in there correctly because it's not in there right. It's messed up, and then the outside part gets fixed as well while they're in there. But it's all done with just some holes in me, and it's not laparoscopically. What is the word again?
It is a laparoscopic.
Well, yeah,
Surgery.
yeah.
It's an hour and a half. long surgery.
Arthroscopically, yes, that's how it gets fixed, and it's a really long surgery. So, and there's more recovery time actually, and physical therapy than having a hip replacement. But in the end, I shouldn't have any more pain and suffering when I'm finally fully healed. That is the goal, is to get the pain gone, because when I move, dance, squat, tip my body in and out of this chair, in and out of bed, anything that I do, it hurts. It's like so very painful. Laying on my side is even more excruciating, and the sucky part is I'm a right side sleeper. When I do fall asleep, I like to fall asleep on my right side. I end up on my back, but yeah.
Are your blocks square?
They are not square anymore because they now have this on the end.
One person said turn some of them sideways. Can you do that?
I could turn some of them sideways.
Have you been on Whatnot? I don't know what that is.
I was on Whatnot today while Becca was doing her VIP thing, checking it out. I've never used it before, and
I don't know what that is.
it's a live auction site. So I went on it today. I've not used it for myself, nor do I even think I will, because it seemed kind of complicated for me. So I don't know. I'll have to watch a few more of when Becca does it just to see, but you know.
You could make triangles.
I could also chop these up and just chop everything up even more.
How long will it be before you sew again after your surgery?
I won't even be able to drive a car for 6 weeks because my foot won't be able to, I won't have until at 3 weeks is when I start physical therapy. And from everything that I've been reading and watching videos of, most of the people that have this done, the exact same procedure, they don't drive a car for 6 weeks. And the reason is you can't hold the joint being repaired, doesn't allow you to hold your foot in that position on the gas pedal. So it's going to be the same with a sewing machine, because a sewing machine pedal is just like a gas pedal. So, and I know how to sew with my left foot, but the thing is the sitting here for a long period, I won't be able to do. So my goal is to finally finish my hand sewing quilt, because I started a quilt in 2020 that's hand sewing for all my times in and out of the hospital when I was sick with valley fever. And I started the hand sewing project, and I just little by little, I'm getting that thing sewn. My goal is to finally sew that whole top together the rest of the way and get it ready for hand quilting. So we'll see how far I get, because I do get frustrated with the hand sewing pretty easily. I'm not liking what's going on here.
Yeah, how about put a stashing row in between?
Well, that's what I was thinking, was sashing between them. The thing is hooking them all together.
Quarter spin each block like a clock.
I can't, because then it becomes taller than the other. See? That means I have to add another piece on the bottom.
I'll have to join the Facebook group.
Join the Facebook group. Make sure you answer those questions, although now it seems that the scammers can answer questions too. So make sure you answer the questions truthfully and fully. All right. Well, I'm giving up on this. Scott put a link in for the group. I'm going to give up on this until I can lay it on a floor and have more visual field of it. And I am going to do something else. Who gave money? Marilee, thank you very much. You didn't have to do that. You guys do not have to put money in on the super chat thing here. YouTube does take quite a bit of it, but thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate it, and it will go to good use. All right, so I'm just going to work on this another day because I don't like what I'm thought that my mind saw. What else can I sew? I could work on.
Linda says, never seen Tiff to not have an idea come to her.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm blank. I'm blank. What do I have that I could sew on? All right, I'm going to clean this mess up, and I am going to work on my snail blocks. I can do that. Because this is driving me nuts.
Am I done ironing then?
Yep.
That thing is annoying me.
All right. Let me just clean this up real quick, guys, and then I'm going to
clean it up.
switch to a different
Okay.
project.
Already done.
Yep.
What other? Do you want me to throw this on there too?
So, yeah.
Okay.
See, these are my snail blocks. They're all different. And I haven't worked on them in a long time, so that is what I'm going to do, is work on my snail blocks. I don't know how many I'll be able to get done, but I'll do a couple. I'm just going to grab a couple colors out for now because I only need to make
As long as the
couple
internet's still working.
color combinations here. My pieces are all cut and on paper, by the way. They've been stacked in this thing forever and a day. All right, black goes for everything, so let's just pull that out of the way. All right, one more pile. Oh, I think I'm done with gray because there's not enough. Oh yeah, there's enough for 1, 2 more. All right. Let's make snail trail block. I need 2 of these. You guys can't even see right here. Ouch. I'm going to tip it down just a little bit so that you can see right here. I'll put the block right here. And then I need 1 of these, and we're going to do purple right here. And then we need 2 of these. So you'll get that there, and that there. And then we're doing this color. So that one will go here. And this purple will go here. And then the next round is this bigger one. It'll be there and there. And the next round is the bigger one here. Oops, and here. And the next size is this one. 2 of these. There and there. And the bigger one here. And here. And then the biggest one. There. And there. And the biggest one here. And here. So here is the layout of a snail trail. And again, I can't mess too much with the camera because we don't want to lose it, but that's all the pieces and parts. So I'm going to make my center 4 patch first. And most of this I finger press because, and I can't use the thread cutter. Ay, ay, ay. Press to the black. Black. Right sides together. Press one way or the other. Then I always put my piece back down, just like this, and then choose my next pieces. And I'm telling you, this machine is driving me crazy.
Don't worry, it goes down on Wednesday.
Oy.
After today, you won't be using it anymore.
I know. Oh man, now I messed that all up.
Well, after tomorrow.
Seam ripper.
You want that other little juki? Where's that at?
Over there, behind you.
You want that one?
Nope. The universe is trying to tell me something today. All right, let's line this up. Stay where I put you.
How big are those squares?
They are 6.5 inch. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my other side on. Line everything up. Yeah, these make little 6.5 inch snail trails. But I'm actually not, and I did it again. I'm not actually making a snail trail quilt. I'm actually making snails at sea. That's my end goal with all these blocks. This machine is making this really hard on me today. It literally was yanking the fabric all the way under and shifting the whole piece. I guess I need to sew even slower today. All right, and then I snip my ends and add my next two sides. So I always put it back and make sure that I have my pieces where they're supposed to go. So one thing about this is it's a lot of starts and stops. You could probably, if you had the same block over and over, which I don't, I'm mixing the colors up, you could probably chain piece all of one section, then chain piece the next section, and so on and so forth. My pedal decided to run away. All right, put this one on. And the thread broke again. I'm telling you, I am not supposed to be sewing today. I have no inspiration from the earlier project, and now I can't sew this one because it's either shifting the pieces or breaking the thread or... Whew. My last day of sewing for a while is supposed to be enjoyable, friends. Because I'm not going to be able to sit at a sewing machine. Oy. All right, so I got my first round on here. And I got a bazillion threads on the back. So there's round one. Now I'm going to lay it back down so that I can make sure everything's going in the direction it's supposed to when it spirals. So I'm going to put this one on here now. I cannot. What is. Something is not happy today. All right, this side. And then I tell you guys all the time, like I did throughout all of Sculliver, when you have problems, just breathe. Okay.
Take a break and come back to it,
Oh,
honestly.
yeah. All right.
Just take a break and answer questions. I'm sure they got tons of questions.
Yeah, well, let me get this block sewn together. I can't just leave it
I know.
at this point.
I'm just, I get
Yep.
it, honey. I'm just saying. There's almost 500 people on here. There was 400 on the earlier one. There's almost 500 now. I'm just asking if they have any sewing questions.
It's considered progress, even if I only make one snail trail block. I have been working on this project for like 3 years. That's a long time to be working on the same project. All right, black goes here. No. I'm doing it. It's getting done. Okay, put it back where it goes. Put the next piece on. Where was I? I'm on that one. I almost got myself out of order. All right, one more round, and then this single block is done, and then I'm going to stop. And then we'll just sit here and Q&A. All right. Goes on here. My phone is going nuts, cuckoo crazy too today. What the hey? And it broke again. There. I will change the needle too, I think, after this, and then sew on a scrap piece of fabric. Because it's breaking as it's coming through. All right.
What's the hardest part of doing a snail trail?
The hardest part about doing a snail trail is the fact that it's on the bias. Every round is a bias seam. So everything stretches. But your outside edges don't stretch, but everything that you're attaching stretches. So that's the hardest part, is to keeping it from getting out of whack because it stretches. That's the hardest part of the snail trail. It's the most annoyingest part too, because everything stretches. But once it's the size it's supposed to be, like right now, it's not going to stretch because the straight of grain is on the four corners. So here is my lovely block. And obviously from my pickings of thread, you can see that the thread is there. This is why we use black thread when we piece black blocks, but it's always, you could always scratch it out, the white threads that are sticking out of the seams. So there's my snail trail block. So this is straight of grain right here. See, no stretch, no stretch, no stretch. But all this stretches. All these attachments are all bias. So there that is.
Are you using those FPP papers?
Nope, no FPP papers for this. This is all a manually pieced project. This is not paper pieced.
Rowena said use your purples, it makes you happy.
Yep. Okay. I am done. So, anybody have any questions? Let's just hang out for a little while. Internet issues, machine issues. I'm going to change my needle on my machine while we hang out, though. You know, just
why change it on that machine when it's going back in the shop?
Because when it gets there, it needs to run great for him with a good needle and stop breaking.
Is the stretch why most people paper piece this block?
Yep, the stretch is why most people paper piece, but I don't paper piece very often, and when I do big, huge projects. But these, I had pre-cut all the pieces, so yeah.
Explain how you're going to finish these again.
I'm going to do snails at sea. So if you look up, let me turn this up now so you can see my face. If you guys look up Storm at Sea, the quilt Storm at Sea on Google, you will see what looks to be curved. Well, Snails at Sea is the same thing. So instead of making the square block and then going around that, a square and a square and a square, I'm using a snail trail as my block. So when I do the curved part, which would be the sashing pieces in between the blocks, half of it's going to be black and half of it's going to be, I'm going to match up the color that it's next to. So each one, as you can see, they're all different colorways. And you can see some of them are not the same. They look the same, but they're not. They're all different colors. And what I'm going to do is my pieces are going to match those colors. So it's going to create even more of a curved wave look because of that. So if you look up Snails at Sea or Storm at Sea and just imagine the snail trail. But if you look up Snails at Sea, it'll show you pictures of it. I'm just doing it off of memory from seeing a picture. I knew how to do the block and I started these blocks a long time ago. So I'm not running off of a pattern. Just my own whatever. This can be quilt as you go, but it's kind of a small block to do quilt as you go, honestly.
How can you tell which way it goes?
I just know which way it goes. If you need to have like a diagram, you'd have to look up a diagram. But I kind of just know because I've been doing it for so long.
Your needles are the least of your problems on that machine.
Well, I'm going to change it anyway and see.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Let's change the needle real quick. I know you guys can't even see me doing this, but we'll change it.
Would the quilt as you go method keep it from stretching as much?
Nope. You're going to still have to trim your ends and stuff. So quilt as you go would be a little bit harder. Like I said, and it's such a small block. I don't know. I wouldn't do it as quilt as you go. But that's just me. But you can try. Just try not to get confused doing it because, like, again, it can get confusing. All right. I would paper piece though. If you want like a perfectly good one, I would paper piece. I would try paper piecing for that.
What's your favorite block to make other than your own originals?
I love the churn dash block. That's one of my favorites, and the Dresden. I love a Dresden plate.
Are we going to be doing quilt auctions?
Soon. Not right this minute, no. Which is a D-stash, is what we call it.
She said an auction.
Oh, I don't have anything to auction right now. I mean, I could probably find something.
How long did it take you to get over your carpal tunnel surgery?
It took over a month to finally start feeling my wrist and after my carpal tunnel surgery.
Craft on and so forth. Gonna try and send this king size quilt in June or July. Then the rest of the quilt.
For me to quilt? Is that what you're saying? Any need to quilt stuff? If anybody needs something to quilt, I'm not going to be quilting for a while. Just know that for one. But for two, email me. Always email me before sending me a quilt, because I have received one time now, because somebody didn't email me, a quilt in the mail and was like, what am I doing with this? And then I finally got a message saying, oh, I sent you my quilt to quilt. Oh, thank you. All right. That's garbage. That's that.
Yes, it's the quilt.
Yep. Just make sure you email me. All right. Needle is changed. Everything is mostly cleaned up. So, any questions? I just said any questions. You guys could ask questions. Thumper didn't have his dental work yet. It's not till the June 7th, because it was just a to make sure that he can have the dental work, you know, to make sure that he's good and healthy and doesn't have any infections.
Because the price is double.
Yeah. Scott is going to call around to other vets though and find out if we can do it somewhere else, because the price has doubled. So a lot of people got pets during COVID, and there's not enough vets to take care of those pets. So everybody's behind and the prices have gone up. But lots of people have new companions. But now they need the, you know, the vet.
Getting his teeth done. We're just not sure when.
Yeah, not sure when, but he's getting them done. My surgery is on Tuesday. We don't know the time, but it's on Tuesday. My song on my tattoo across my chest is supposed to be Elvis Presley. I'm all shook up because it's an MS thing, because I have MS and I have the shakes and they never go away. So the whole song across Oops, I don't mean to hit that. But the whole song was supposed to be that, and it doesn't fit. The original song just didn't fit, so we just did notes from the song. And my daughter actually tried to play it once, and it sounded absolutely horrible.
It's an easy pattern for a beginning quilter.
An easy pattern for a beginner quilter would probably be just if you're 100% beginner and you really want to try, I would say go with making a 4-patch and a 4-patch and a 4-patch and connect all those 4 patches together until you have just a big quilt of squares, just so you know you like it, you like the piecing, you get used to your 1/4-inch seam, things like that. I don't suggest for beginners to start cutting on angles and cutting, adding triangles here and there. I think that's just a little bit harder. So I would say start with a 4-patch or a jelly roll. Get a jelly roll and start sewing the pieces together, and then, do a jelly roll race. So they don't pop up. The questions go away.
Sorry, I can't read and type.
We don't
How
have
old
to.
is Thumper?
Thumper is going on 11. He is 10 years old, going on 11. He'll be 11 in July. July or August. He was a little tiny itty bitty thing that needed to be bottle fed when I got him. And I don't remember if that was July or August. I just know it was the end of the summer. And it was still hot when I got him because the house I got him out of had no AC and I was cleaning it. So I just remember it being really, really hot. And it also turns out I had gotten a comment on YouTube on one of my videos that said that Thumper looks like a knitted ragdoll cat. So I looked it up, the differences between a snowshoe, because I've always thought Thumper was a snowshoe. When I first got him when he was a baby, he looked exactly like a snowshoe. The vet said he looked like a snowshoe. Everybody said he looked like a snowshoe. And when he was growing up, he looked just like a snowshoe. Anyway, so all these years go by, all these years, he's now going on 11 years old almost, and somebody made a comment that said he looked like a mitted ragdoll. So I decided to look it up. I looked up this mitted ragdoll. They look almost like a snowshoe, but the snowshoes have a little bit shorter hair, but some have longer hair. And the mitted ragdoll have longer hair and thicker tails, just like Thumper. They look like Thumper, and they are even, it says that if you have a mitted ragdoll, that it's good for you because those are rare as well. Like they're not bred that way. So we're now tossed between, is he a mitted ragdoll or is he a snowshoe, which was his original, because he looks the same as both. So he might be one or the other. That's the newest development here in this household by reading stuff about it. Yes, he does look like Grumpy Cat. He's always looked like a Grumpy Cat. But
they're probably the same breed.
Yeah, well, we looked up Grumpy Cat. I looked up Grumpy Cat's thing, and the parents of Grumpy Cat say that he is actually a mixed breed cat.
Well, Thumper could be too.
And Thumper could be too. Yeah, we don't know exactly what he is because, again, I did find him in an abandoned house. So I saved him from certain death. Anyway, I think I'm going to get off here. We're just sitting. They all know how I got started quilting.
That's what the lady messaged me.
Oh, well.
The messenger thing.
I got started quilting because I couldn't ride motorcycles no more. I am I can't say ex-motorcycle rider because I still have a scooter and I can ride the scooter. It's on 2 wheels. It don't go no more than 45 miles an hour, but it's something. It's the open air. Anyways, no, I was in a wheelchair and I needed something to do. So I saw a quilt and said, I think I can make that. And I made it. Well, not that exact quilt because I didn't have the proper stuff. I had an old sewing machine, an old brother that went so slow, and jammed up a lot, and it just sucked. And I still made it work. And my son loves his quilt to this day because my older son has that first quilt of mine, and he loves it, still uses it.
How many quilts do you have in your closet to finish?
I have here. We'll just point you that way and count them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. 33 quilts in there that need to be quilted. And they're not going to get done anytime in the next 6 weeks because I won't be able to.
Tell them about the quilt behind you.
And then the quilt behind me is it's Tiffany's Epiphany is what I named it, because I was putting together the Jacob ladder blocks and I was like, I laid it out and I was like, what if I add this? And I had an epiphany. Well, let's add the border. So that's where this border came in. And I actually have the pattern designed for you guys. I just have, you're going to have to wait like a couple months to get the video, because I actually designed this in a bigger version for a king size bed size. And I have all the fabric picked and everything ready to film it, but my hip surgery came a lot faster than I thought it would. So yeah, I'm not going to get to that for a while, but just know that in the future, you know, there'll be an actual video on making this, but actual bed size.
How often do you launder your quilts and how do you store them?
We don't ever really wash the quilts. The ones that Thumper lays on are the quilts that get washed the most. But other than that, my bed quilts and stuff, I change them out and I don't even wash them in between, because I don't lay on top of them. I lay under them, and there's a sheet between the quilt and me, or between, you know, there's a sheet and then the quilt. So my quilts really don't get dirty. So they just get folded up and put on the ladder or on the shelf. So they rarely get washed.
2 ladders and a shelf.
Yeah, no, we have the closet, 2 ladders, a shelf, and a filing cabinet stacked with quilts. They're everywhere. Yeah. Plus all the ones that are out in the living room, the ones that are hanging on the walls, the ones that I haven't hung on the walls yet because they're just in a pile on the floor in the closet. There's quilts everywhere around here. This house is full of them. But no, we don't really need to wash them. The ones on the quilt ladders, I vacuum off. They get dusty on the top part, but nothing gets really dirty, and they get vacuumed every time I vacuum. So it's pretty good. They don't need to be washed. I would say if it's not dirty, don't wash it.
Well, the ones that Thumper don't get washed a lot.
Yeah, the ones that Thumper uses do get washed a lot. Those get washed twice a month, and they don't fall apart. So, yep, they get washed a lot. Alrighty.
What was your first machine and who taught you?
My first machine was a the receipt that was in the box still was 1987. Or no, 1982. It was a 1982 machine. The other one, the Kenmore, was an 87. The first machine was an 82 Brother, and it sat in my garage here in the heat in Arizona for a long time. And that's actually where I started sewing, was in my garage. For if you guys ever watched any of the way, way, way old videos on my channel, I'm in the garage for all of that. And yeah, so that old machine, it lasted for like 2 months, and then I told Scott, I can't do this. So we bought me a Brother PRS, PRW, a Brother PRW 100 from Walmart. And I had that for like 3 months before it broke. And then I got another one and it broke. And then I got another one and it broke. And the last and final broken one is still in the garage. I never fixed that one. But I also bought a bunch of like machines off of the internet, like Facebook Marketplace kind of thing. And those broke. And when I finally bought my Juki, this is all in a year span, guys. I finally bought the Juki 7 years ago, and it's amazing. I've never had to switch to the other machines. And then we got the other Brother that I have, the SQ9285. We got that, and that has lasted me as my secondary machine this whole entire time until I just got the HZLF 600. And then I do have a serger, and I do have the Juki DU 1181N now for sewing bags, and I have a lot of machines. And I have my long arm, and I have my embroidery machine. I watched my mom sew when I was a little girl, but I was not interested at all. And Mom, if you're watching, some of those clothes you made us wear in the 80s. I saw those pictures. I looked so funny. But no, I wasn't interested watching my mom sew. I saw her sew. I saw her make things, but I was not interested. So, and even as an adult, I really wasn't interested until one day out of the blue, I saw a quilt and said, hey, I can do that. And it got me out of my wheelchair. So nobody taught me. I taught myself. What was the other question you said after that?
I thought it was just who taught you.
Oh, yeah. Nobody taught me.
Can you keep fabric in containers in the garage, or will it get damaged?
It depends on your garage, where you live, and how many bugs get into containers. I have fabric in containers in the garage, and even with lids, I open them and there's still moths. Moths get inside of them. So, and I don't have good fabric in the garage. I mean, I do have good fabric in the garage, but I don't have like the good stuff that I use in here on a daily. I don't store that kind of stuff out there. But yeah, it depends. We've also had in the past, because we live here, it gets so hot that the inside, once you open the box, it stinks. Even if you put dryer sheets in it or something in it to keep the smell down, no, it will smell. But that's because I live in Arizona and our garage gets to like 110 degrees and holds that temperature steady.
No, when it's 120 out, the garage is 120.
Well, yeah, when it's 120 outside, but it stays steady. So things get stinky. So it depends on where you live, the bugs and kind of stuff that you have. I've known people even here to have stuff in the garage that rats get in their boxes, even the kinds with lids, the plastic ones, they eat right through them. So it just depends on where you live. So that's all I can answer on that
Have
one.
you baked fabric?
No, I have not baked fabric. I don't know what that means, no.
How long will you be in the hospital?
It's a day procedure. So
Surgery is 90 minutes.
the surgery is 90 plus minutes and that's it. And then I go home. It's outpatient. So it's an outpatient surgery. Okay.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Because what am I having done? I'm having my hip fixed. Why can't? Oh, I have no idea. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I am going to get off of here. Do I use any garment fabric? Yeah, I've made garments with my garment fabric. All right. Well, guys, yeah, there will be some videos posted. I'm still editing some things, but there'll be videos throughout the time that I'm healing because I've been, again, working hard this weekend. So look forward to those videos. Maybe if it's just one video a week for now. And then I will be on Sundays still, but we'll be sitting in bed or in a chair or something, hand sewing, and it'll just be chatting. So if you guys want to think of questions to ask me for the next 3 weeks worth of videos, think of those questions, hold them off until next Sunday or the Sunday after, and I will be around. So I'll see you guys. I'm going to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love y'all.